Let's go to former Navy SEAL Team 6 Commander Dave Sears on what we're looking at and whether there is something to what the Turks are saying. Now, having said, what I said, Dave, should we believe the Turks? Do they have a vested gripe here?
I don't know. I mean, the Turks are also, President Erdogan is just as guilty of jailing, killing journalists, imprisoning teachers. I mean, his track record is not really great, and that's a known fact. Do we believe him? Right now, a lot of the things are lining up against Saudi Arabia, at least some element involved in this. It's not implausible that they did this, so let's wait and see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what, Lindsey Graham was saying earlier on our air, that it's Fox News there, talking about, the Crown Prince has to go, but there are other princes, there are other family members, there are thousands of backups. This is a royal family, extended as it is, that has done a lot of nefarious things. A lot of Americans remember back to 9/11, 15 of the hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. So you always wonder, just getting rid of one questionable player, if it comes to that, is everything hunky-dory?
Sure, and there are some interesting dynamics with the Crown Prince, because normally what's happened in the past is the king has passed on to a brother. That's been the lineage that's gone on. So you would rule, the next ruler would rule 10 to 15 years or so. The Crown Prince, being at 33 or so, he's going to rule for the next 50 years if he stays in power. So that's a very different shift, passing to a son. This is the first time we've seen that in a long, long time.
Well, Dave, can the king tell him, sorry, this ain't happening? Can he be essentially replaced?
Absolutely. The king can do anything there. But I think the Crown Prince also anticipated some of these things happening, which is why you saw the purge last year and why he jailed a lot of people, why he's been getting rid of the opposition. I mean, it's really Game of Thrones over there to some extent.
It's actually a very good comparison. But let me answer this. Without making it look like a black helicopter crowd theory, certainly the Crown Prince would know that in doing this, he'd have the world on him. You go after a journalist, you're going to get the world's journalists on you. And you're going to imperil the very kingdom dominance you've had and all the progress you've had, getting rid of your relatives and threats, that would all be washed out. Certainly he would know that, which feeds this other narrative out there that he might not have anything to do with it. What do you think?
It does, or that it was, unintentional and it did go too far and they wanted to get him and the guy had a heart attack. He was scared, whatever it was, and they started covering up. So I don't think it's intentional to go in there and do this, but then there's got to be a cover-up when a mistake is made because he realizes how bad this is going to look for him. There's other factors at play, too. You just turned down the Crown Prince / as defense minister as well, just turned down the Lockheed Martin deal. So is the U.S. using this as leverage as Saudi Arabia looks at getting the S-400 system from Russia and has already talked about sanctions a couple of days ago? Senator Graham's upset. Lockheed Martin's kind of in his corner. That's a bailiwick there. And they just turned down a $15 billion deal with the THAAD system. So there's a lot of pieces at play here on why we're casting so much attention on this.
Dave, a cynical view you hear from people who don't worry about this, and given the fact the market's holding up on this, is where else do the Saudis go? Where else do we go with the Saudis? We're in bed with each other. We know each other. We have to do business with each other. What do you think of that?
We do. We used to have a saying over in the Middle East or in Afghanistan, we used it as there are good bad guys, bad good guys, and bad bad guys. So there's three players there. They're all bad to some extent. Saudi Arabia happens to be one of our bad guys. They're going to do bad things. It's their system of governance and how the kingdom works. They are an autocracy that is an authoritarian regime and has held that power through repression. So where do they go? They'll start to look a little bit at Russia and China, of course. They're not going to just let a vacuum sit there. So there will be other players to come into the space. We have to compete.
No, very well said. Dave, thank you. The Game of Thrones analogy is a winner, my friend. You always have them when you come visit. Dave Sears, a former Navy SEAL commander.